One thing I was really excited to talk to you about, though, that I knew nothing about your childhood, it said that when you were 13 years old, you went to seminary school.
Yes.
You were raised Catholic.
I was.
First of all, born in Germany. We should probably put a pin in that because that's distracting. You were born in Germany. We'll get back to that. But raised Catholic, and when you were 13, you went to seminary school. You had every intention of being a priest.
I did, yeah.
And then in high school, it says in your Wikipedia, I don't assume this is accurate, but I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to. It says, I can't remember the exact quote, but it says, starting to have doubts in the Catholic faith after being exposed to the works of Lao Tzu. Is that true? Taoism was a thing for you?
Kierkegaard, Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching.
Nietzsche. I call him Nietzsche.
Yeah.
The Nietzster. The Tao Te Ching was a huge thing for me in high school.
Yeah.
It was like I was searching and I found the Tao Te Ching.
Right.
And it was like a tremendous, that and Kurt Vonnegut, those were like these huge things for me.
Right.
And it's so interesting when you're a kid, when you're in your adolescent years, like anything could happen to you. And then there's these libraries that are filled with these.
It was books.
Yeah.
It was literature.
And it's not always the books that your teachers are assigning you to read. Some of those are great.
Right.
A lot of those are great. Some of them are banned. But also in those same libraries, there's these other books by these profane and profound
dissidents
or ancient non-Christian mystics.
Right.
Kurt Vonnegut like just slammed my brain against the wall, smeared it like jelly all over the place, and
he has that power.
Yeah, it was him and David Mamet like encountering his plays. I was like, are you allowed to write like this? And one of my drama teachers, Mrs. Lund, at Brown Deer High School, she's like, yeah, I think that's a thing that you can do if you woo. I got a woo for Mrs. Lund.
Right.
I'm kind of babbling. I feel like this must happen to you a lot. I think a lot of people probably encounter you and are like, there's like a strange sort of like Mr. Rogers meets Sting. like people want to fuck you and please you and but also don't want to offend you and kind of bowing a little bit while they're I feel that energy happening. I'm like, I don't want LeVar Burton to leave mad. But yeah, I just want him to know that I really liked Vonnegut in high school. But the Tao Te Ching, talk about the world's oldest book.
Yeah, and it was my drama coach, Lee Bartlett, who was neither a priest or a brother. He was a layman, and it was the Catholic seminary after all. But It was Lee who was the drama teacher, and he was the philosophy teacher. He taught all my favorite subjects. He taught English, and he had the book list that really changed my course and direction in life.
How many people in this room, save your applause until I finish the question, there's probably 200 people in this room. How many people feel that them being in this room and being who they are owes itself in a major way to one teacher in their public education path? That's a good 40%, 60%.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah. I don't know. Teachers, they're very low paid and very vomited upon.
Unfairly so.
I didn't bother to Google what your politics are, but I assume you and I both agree that we should probably take a lot of money and put it over into education and hope that solves everything.
We have spent way too much money on war and the machineries of war in the past 2 decades, and we've sacrificed 2 generations of our nation's children and their education.